Every country needs to be sure of a few things. It needs to know what each and every foreigner crossing its borders is here to do. A country needs to be careful not to allow foreign agents and foreigners to take it over without citizens even noticing. It is vital for the country to always be watchful of foreigners who enter the country at any given time. Welcome to Citizen Concerned, where we remind you to beware of the comrades. I'm Katlego and would appreciate it if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, liked and shared this video with other citizens. A country needs to make sure that it knows exactly where each foreigner is going to be staying. And more importantly, it needs to know what the foreigner is doing within its borders. It needs to be sure that permits that expire do not go unattended or unaddressed. When the record of each foreigner says expired, there should be no doubt regarding the location of the person on the systems. Is a person within South Africa or have they left should be an easy question to answer without any doubt. But welcome to South Africa, where foreigners enter and exit at will, unhindered and even undocumented. The ANC has created a mess that allows for serious crimes to be committed by foreigners that enter South Africa. A mess that allows foreigners to enter the country, do as they please, wreak havoc, and leave the country with valuables easily. You tell me, how is it possible for an individual to have a farm where they conduct military training for foreigners within South Africa? How?
And we begin this hour in Mpumalanga. Police there are currently conducting a raid on a camp near White River.
Well, indeed, there are about 90 foreign nationals that are actually training at this one of the security company here. It's actually looked like a military camp. I'm just going to ask my colleague Lungile Ngwangwana just to show you what's going on behind us here. The police are actually conducting raid. They're involved with the immigration and also other law enforcement agencies that are actually here to conduct a raid. That is a military base where these 90 Libyan nationals are actually been living here, been training here, but it seems like they've been training for a military training at this camp here in just outside White River here in Mpumalanga. So
the ANC has been sleeping on the job, and there are several things that can easily go wrong in South Africa if this kind of nonsense does not get addressed by our government. We already know that there has been news of South Africa having people funding ISIS and other terrorist organizations. This is not fiction, guys. There are several things that have been happening right here in South Africa that have the potential to cause problems within South Africa or somewhere else in this continent or even beyond.
And staying with the United States has announced sanctions against 2 individuals in South Africa and 1 from the Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, these individuals are allegedly associated with the expanded activities of the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria and in the African continent, in fact. The statement said that these individuals serve as key financiers and trusted operatives, enabling the activities of ISIS and its leaders across Central, Eastern and Southern Africa. It said that they also serve as critical links between far-flung ISIS operations, including ISIS affiliates in the DRC, Mozambique, Somalia, and ISIS cells in South Africa. The US named Abu Bakr Swaleh as a South Africa and Zambia-based ISIS operative and said he is involved in the physical transfer of funds from South Africa to the DRC.
Think about it. Majority of spazas only handle cash. Where does that money end up if it's not ending up in the banks of South Africa? Money laundering is happening right here, but the problem is it's hard for us to know about what is happening if it never gets reported.
Standard Bank says it has a zero-tolerance stance on fraud and criminality. This after a television investigative documentary implicated Standard Bank and 2 other local banks for allegedly helping helping a gold smuggling gang launder millions of dollars of dirty cash in exchange for regular bribes. At the same time, the Prudential Authority also says it views the matter in a serious light. It says it's made significant progress in strengthening its anti-money laundering and the financing of terrorism or financial crimes with economic effects.
Terrorist groups keep infiltrating Africa, and what is the ANC doing about that? South Africa has been infiltrated by most, if not all, the problems that are destroying many countries. I mean, think about it. Drugs, we have those. Human trafficking, we have that. Illegal smuggling, we have that too. Tribalism, we have it. Corruption, we have that. Racism, we have it. Incompetence, we have that too. What about laziness? We have it. Bad policies, we have those. High influx of foreigners for no logical reason, we definitely have that. The one thing we don't have is terrorist attacks, and we thank God for that. But we do have activities that are either funding or potentially funding terrorism activities. If our government does not take urgent and decisive action against this, it is only a matter of time before we start getting Islamic terror attacks in South Africa, ISIS kind of terror attacks. The fact that we are now hearing that 95 individuals entered South Africa saying they were here to study for security-related qualifications and they end up in military training that the government was not aware of should not really come as a surprise when you know the conduct of the ANC. The fact is South Africa is a baby lost in the woods. We have idiots leading the country. When you elect stupid people in the form of the ANC, the results will usually look like they look right now. We already have military, police, and home affairs officials that are so corrupt that they are willing to accept bribes to allow drugs and guns to enter the country as long as they get 1 million rand in their accounts or even less. If, God forbid, a terror attack happens, everyone will start to wonder how it happened. But honestly, under the circumstances, we can all see that South Africa is a country begging to be victimized. Over and over again, it is not South Africa that is identifying the terror financing that is happening within its own borders. It's another country. America simply sanctions people who are related to the funding of ISIS. Over and over again, we keep on seeing it. Just a few days ago, the US again sanctioned more people that it believed were involved with ISIS. What are they involved in? Sending money to ISIS, distributing funds and resources to ISIS.
The United States has said that South Africa is used as base to finance ISIS activities in the Democratic Republic of Congo. This is worrisome for Pretoria as it raises concern that the country is harboring terrorists. This is the second time US has sanctioned individuals based in South Africa over alleged Islamic State links.
This is not the first time that this has happened. The diamonds that were being looted in South Africa, some of them are also funding ISIS. One of the biggest buyers from the South African government was named as a financier of jihadists, aka terrorists. So now that we are hearing news of 95 people from Libya, a country that was dealing with ISIS not so long ago and is known to be struggling with radical Islamist terrorists right now, does that not raise your spidey senses?
From street to street, house to house, the fight between the Allied forces and the Islamic State rages on the Sirte region. IS had taken control of the area in 2015 and made it its main base of operation in the North African country.
The people who live near the farm where these 95 men were training claim that these men were already terrorizing their communities. Typical terrorist behavior, right?
A community reeling in shock following the arrest of 95 Libyan men at their doorstep. They claim they noticed the men 4 weeks ago when they started causing disturbance.
They started causing problems in the community, You know, they will walk during the night, and they will they will rob people's cell phones, and sometimes they will even hit them. So then we actually report the matter to the police station.
And the community is concerned.
Because the people from foreigners, they're coming here without document, you see. That's why I'm saying I'm crying about the government.
If terrorists infiltrate South Africa with the intention of causing havoc here, there is nothing that Cyril and his government will be able to do. Incompetencies are too many in his team. And this facility gives me terrorist vibes. I mean, am I taking it too far here, guys?
When the minister was asked whether there are any other such camps elsewhere in the country, once there was this discovery, and then people started suggesting that they may be more. The minister was, quote unquote, his answer, that is, was, we need to expand our checks. That didn't give me a great deal of confidence that we have sufficient or proactive intelligence, especially given how even this one was found and how much time it actually took for these irregularities to be established, and of course for police to pounce on this facility.
What pains me is that the police were told by the surrounding community, and they took too long to take any action. The police were not aware of this. The military was not aware of this.
How much time passed between you reporting what was taking place there, would you say, and that raid that we saw on Friday?
It was 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. We started talking with the police for the past 2 weeks, just before the Friday.
What we also saw what came out from the answer of the minister and the commissioner is that this was not an intelligence-driven operation. It was actually the public that came and complained to the police about the presence of these people and then the bullying and the other things that you are.
So basically, if this is a terror organization, they would have attacked and nothing could have stopped them. Not the police, not the military. Country run by imbeciles. Why is it that these Libyans all applied for security training from Tunisia? Were there any South Africans being trained there? At least if there were several nationalities, that would have been better. But one nationality in one school in South Africa.
What is very troublesome and what raises a red flag is the country in question. If we look at Libya, Libya is currently a country in conflict, it's a failed state. The government of national unity in Libya is in control of less than 20% of the land. The rest of the country is under control of a militia under General Haftar, and the rest, especially in the south, you've got various tribal militias that are active there. They dominate the ground there, but also you have ISIS and Al Qaeda that have camps there that are operating from there towards Mali and Mauritania and the other countries. So that makes it quite a difficult question. Who sent those people here? Are they from the national government of national unity? Are they from some of the other militias? Because that will change the ballgame, and also that will make it a bit more serious.
Who is funding it? Are these 95 Libyans paying for their own fees? Or is it one organization making payments? How many people have been trained by this organization, and who were the founders of the same organization?
The owner or owners of the facilities are still not arrested.
Identified the number of breaches. As far as Syria is concerned, we have indicated what our concerns are. The gap between the basis of the approval of the application in the first place and what is obtaining here. This is something that you would necessarily find after you follow on your application in terms of compliances and so on. Now, whether the owner is going to be arrested or not, it will depend on the completion of or the processing of matters going forward. But indeed, if something untoward is found, we'll take the necessary action.
Police are mum on their investigation and what they found during their tour of the facility.
Who owns the farm? Where did the funds to buy that farm come from? We need the full truth here. But hey, Malema believes these are our African brothers, right? No African is a foreigner in South Africa, right? All Africans are welcome here, right? We are against Africans because we hate our own, right? Have you seen where these people come from? Guys, Cyril and his buddies seriously need to pull up their socks.
Home Affairs has since cancelled the visas of the foreign nationals. It is alleged they entered the country with visas that were acquired through misrepresentation in Tunisia. They will be deported, but not before cleared of other crimes.
Home Affairs is now in the hands of the DA Minister Leon Schreiber. Leon, it is time to step up, my man. It is time to root out all these bad characters, and very, very fast. I'm glad and very grateful that these people have been found out. How many more of these people are there? Can you find and uproot them before they succeed in unsavory missions? That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, like and share this video with other citizens. I'm Katlego. This is Citizen Concerned. And until next time, beware of the comrades.